Hi guys! So my name's Erica. I'm a cystic fibrosis patient in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Just wanted to address a few things. I posted a video like maybe 2-3 days ago, and it really made some people emotional. All I'm basically trying to say by that video is the correlation between 5 feet apart and like how life really is, because it is a movie. I do understand. I'm so thankful that they made a movie about CF because it'll probably get funding for us, which is sweet. You know, drugs like help us stay alive longer, you know. So all I want to say, all people with CF, regardless of respiratory tract culture results, should wear a surgical mask when in healthcare setting to reduce the risk of transmission or acquisition of CF pathogens. So all that means is when you're in hospital, especially your CF hospital, you know there's going to be other CFers in there who have bugs, maybe the same as you, maybe different as you. You could catch something new and be growing something new within 24 hours. So the safest way to protect yourself and your CF community is just wear a mask. Wash your hands, throw some gloves on. Like, okay, great, I understand what it's like to be trapped in a hospital room for weeks at a time. It's horrible. The last time I was there, I wasn't even allowed to leave my room to shower. Like, I wasn't allowed to shower for like 6 days. I was literally in my little bathroom using a sink to shower. So I understand how hard it is to like be segregated. I understand that, and to feel different, because I know I'm different. It's not new to feel different for me. So when I walk the halls and I'm wearing gloves and a mask and people stare at me or they ask me questions, I'm happy to answer them, because it's education. It's education for people who don't understand the disease. So when people say, oh, you're wearing a mask, you must be sick, I say I am sick, but I've been sick my whole life. I have a genetic illness called cystic fibrosis. It's not contagious, and I'm wearing the mask to protect myself and my community. So other people with CF don't get my bugs, and I don't get their bugs. It's not a huge deal wearing a mask. I'm coughing. Of course I should have a mask on. The general population, if you're coughing, you should be wearing a mask. It's just common courtesy not to spew your germs all over everyone. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like super emotional. Like, I understand. Like, I literally am a walking CF blob, okay? My hands, my whole life, I've got finger clubbing. I've got a port. Like, it's not new for me to feel different. When I walk around with a mask, yes, people stare at me. But I know in my heart of hearts that I'm doing the right thing for other people. People don't want my Pseudomonas. They don't want my staph. They don't want my non-tuberculosis mycobacterium. They don't want to catch what I have because it sucks. It's painful. It's painful to cough up blood. It's painful to not be able to sleep at night. Why would I ever want to put that onto another person? It's literally painful watching my son watch me go through all this, having to be away from him for weeks at a time. Why do I want to catch your bacteria because you don't want to wear a mask because you think it's your right? Like, it's not your right not to wear a mask in clinic or in hospital. It's negligent, is exactly what it is. It's like in healthcare, knowing that you have the flu, going to work, going into someone's room without gown and gloves and like a whole mask on, and then starting an epidemic. Like, it's negligence. You know you have a bacteria, you know you have a disease. Yeah, it's not great, it's not fun, it's hard to breathe in those things, it gets sweaty and disgusting. Like, it's not fun. But it's necessary to protect your community. The people you're fighting for. You're fighting every day to just breathe, to like wake up the next day, to like enjoy the little moments to be able to be awake and have energy. Why do you want to catch someone else's bacteria or to give it? Like, this isn't a sharing time in kindergarten. Like, it's serious. Our disease is serious. Not wearing masks isn't a joke. Like, this movie, that's what it was. It was a movie. It was for the masses to be like, this is our disease. This is a romantic story. It's not all completely factual, but it was awesome to bring awareness to our disease. They probably should have put in the end, not recommended for people not carrying Cepacia to be on the same floor, to be sitting on the same couch, to be in, first of all, the exercise room. Buddy, there's no way that they would put someone with Cepacia in an exercise room with someone who didn't have Cepacia. Like, it's so easy to catch bacteria from another person with CF. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to get into something a little bit personal. So my neighbor who I go to have coffee with, maybe once a week, twice a week. In the summer it's more. She's an elderly lady. Her daughter had cystic fibrosis in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Her daughter unfortunately passed away when she was 30. And just by chance, I moved into the house next to her, not knowing her or her story. One day I had come outside and she hadn't seen me going to work in a while. And she noticed that, like, I wasn't taking my son to school anymore, and, like, where was I kind of deal. And I was like, I came right outside, you know, being the Erica that I am, and was like, hi, Florence, like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you doing? Like, I've seen you in a long time. And she's like, Erica, like, where have you been? And I took down my sleeve, and I showed her my PICC line. And she looked at me in a way I've never been looked at before. And she said, oh, honey, like, what is this for? And I said, I have cystic fibrosis. She just broke down crying. And I said, like, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, my daughter had that. And I was like, oh, like where does she live and stuff? And she's like, no, she died at 30. And then she just cried, and I cried. Because, like, she's this... Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But when she was talking to me about it, it seemed foreign to her, the idea of separating people with CF. Because when she and her daughter were going through this process, they did not know what they know now. Like, doctors and nurses and the staff, the cleaning staff, like, there's so much more knowledge now. That's why we're living longer. When her and her daughter were going through this, they used to let them hang out just like in the movie 5 Feet Apart, like in the same room with no masks and chill and watch movies and stuff. That's where she had met on one of her flare-ups when she was admitted. That's where she met her partner. Like, the exact same story. She was, I think, 27 or so. She met her partner. They fell in love. He had a bacteria, Cepacia. She did not. They caught it. Like, she caught it from him. She died at 30. Like, my neighbor watched her daughter take her last breath and told me the story, and it just broke my heart. Because everything that we know now tells us we should not be close to each other. Wear a mask. Email chat. Like, I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard, but it's important to protect the ones you love. Like, I stay away from my CF friends because I love them. Because they deserve to live. If they don't have the bacteria that I have, then great, awesome, because it sucks. And, like, to have Cepacia, I can't even imagine what you guys feel. Like, I feel isolated with just the random crap that I grow. I cannot imagine what you guys feel. I'm not even going to start. I'm not even going to start to imagine what you guys must feel like. And I'm so sorry that you have caught it. And, like, it's my worst fear. Yes, I know it's, like, stupid or whatever, like, but, like, literally, like, I can't even imagine, like, who would be there for my son, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be in hospital, like, all the time. I have no idea how you guys go through what you go through. I should probably take pills. I'm just in my room right now. I'm just painting my wall pink, because pink makes me super happy. So we got Centrum, we got enzymes, we got A, D, E, and K, and we've got some, I forget what they're called, but they just stopped me from, like antacid kind of thing. I've already taken my vitamin K. I lied. I actually didn't take 2 of them. I take vitamin K because my lungs bleed. I already take my laxative. Okay. Sum it up. You go into your hospital, you know other people have CF. I'm not telling you wear a mask every day of your life. If you're going to a place that specifically you know there's a higher possibility that you might contract something from someone else, wear your mask. Like, if you're going to a dirty theater, maybe wear a mask. If you're going on an airplane, maybe wear a mask. You know what I mean? If you're going to a hospital or a clinic of any kind, wear a mask. It's not just for you. It's not, okay, it's not a choice. It's an obligation. You were born with a disease that could harm someone else that has the same disease. It's not like you're wearing a mask every single day of your life. I'm just asking you, please, for me, for you, for everyone that you know that has CF, for everyone that you don't know has CF, please just wear your mask. When you go to clinic, wash your hands. If you're gonna touch things, wear gloves. Like, when you're living in the hospital, when you decide to, like, sneak out at night and go do your thing, wear a mask. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And anyone who judges you for wearing a mask can literally shove it because they have no idea what we go through on a daily basis. They can look, they can stare, they can snicker, they can do whatever they want, but you're protecting yourself and you're protecting other people, and you should be damn proud to wear that mask. That's basically it. It's upsetting. Anyway, 5 feet apart.